In today's video, I'm going to build another web application. So for a customized form. So this form is a little bit different from the form I've built in the previous videos. So this one we have a very special drop-downs here. So it's called multiple dependent drop-downs. So here I have a drop-down here called JavaScript. So if I choose one of the options from this JavaScript drop-down, I should be able to have the subcategory of this JavaScript. And if I choose a subcategory, then I get the third item about this all of these drop-downs. So basically the last one is depend on the second one, and the second one is depend on the first one. So just like that. So this is the main topic about this project. So for the rest are just a normal input in this form. So basically you can, so if you find this multiple dependent dropdowns is very useful for your project, you can try to use this tool, because this is not available in Google's standard form. So in Google's standard form, they don't have this function. So you have to build a customized form with this. Okay. So basically, you can try. So if you choose another one, it's going to hide the last one and going to reset the second drop down, and you can try to select the other stuff. Okay, so the setup for the multiple dependent dropdowns, this is configured in the spreadsheet, so you can do the modification there, and you also can modify the other input in the script. So I'm going to show you the file, and I'm also going to explain the code for you if you're interested. Right, here is the 44th project I've built for YouTube, and let's go and check it out. So this is a file which I'm going to share with you guys. So if you are trying to use this, please make a copy of this tool. Okay, make a copy of this spreadsheet, or the script will also be copied. Okay, so here, as you can see, we have two tabs here. So for the first one is the relationships. Okay, it's just the dependent. So as you can see here, we have the JavaScript at the main category, and we have the subcategory, and the third is the content. And in this project, you can add more. So if you have the fourth level, you can still add them. If you have had more drop-downs, you also can add them. You just need to keep them as a structure like this. So as you can see, for the first level, you have the tutorials, and for the subcategory of these tutorials, you have these subcategories, and for each of these subcategories, you have the detailed content for the subcategory. So it's all structured like this. And we have two, as you can see, we have two main category, and all these are subcategory, and the last column is the content. So if your structure of the multiple dependent drop-downs are complex, like four layers or more, so you can add more columns here. And if you also can change the header here. So this is going to replace the label here, so JavaScript subcategory of content. So you can simply modify this, and it's going to be updated in the web application. Okay, so this is all the data you need to configure in this spreadsheet. And for the another one, of course, it's the responses. So it's just a response from this form. If we do some, let's we try to make a new submit. So complete beginner and choose JavaScript basic. My name is Ashton, and age let's do 30. Country China, and the city let's do Shenzhen. It's my email address. So if you have any question or comments, and if you need some help from me, you can send me an email. Okay, you also can follow me on Twitter, or you can also contact me on YouTube. Okay, let's try to do submit. So it's submitting, and you get this message box. So if you get some error, you also show some error message here. So right now there is no error, so it's just a confirm message. Okay, and we go back to the response. So we just did this response here. Okay, so everything works fine, I think. Let's close this one, and so if you are trying to use it, just make a copy of this file to your Google Drive. So I'm going to share a read-only file to you, so you cannot access the script from this file, but you can make a copy of it to your Google Drive, so you can play with the code on your Google Drive. So this is good for other people's. If you changed my code here, other people maybe get confused if they made some errors. So please make a copy of it to your Google Drive. Let's do it for YouTube. So this one is the one I'm going to share it with you. And okay, so once you copied my file, should have another one. Okay, so this one is a new one. I just copied. All right, so first thing, you need to go to Tools, Script Editor. So since this is a web application project, first thing you need to do, you need to go to the project, the script project, and you go to the Publish menu and deploy as web application. Okay, so this is the first thing you need to do. And for the version, so since it's the first time, it's a new one, so it's the only option here. And I will keep the setting here, so you can do some modification. And let's do update. So since this is the first time, so it's going to review the permission for all the APIs we're using in this project. And choose your Google account, advanced, and go to this project. So all the APIs we're using for this project, you need to allow these APIs to make this web application working. Okay, now we get this URL. Okay, so this is the URL for the web application. So you can copy it and save it to somewhere. But you don't have to do it because we have a menu here to open the form for you. So you don't have to remember this URL, since this URL is not very good for people to remember it. So now we have this web application, and let's try to clear this data, and let's do a submit here. So let's try to reference, and to choose my name, 30, China, and alright, try to submit. Alright, so where is the result? Oops, what's wrong? Let's try to reload the page. Okay, that's very weird. That's very weird. Where is my data? Something is wrong. Let's try to do it again. Let's try to add something here. Okay, so the weird thing is because the color of the text is white, so basically it's copied the color of the font of the text from the top row. So since this is white color, so here is still white, so we can see a white text color and with a white background, so we cannot see the result. So you can see here the result. If I change the color to, let's try to choose a beautiful color. No. Okay, let's format it. Let's try to use this one, and let's try to make this black. All right, and okay, now we have the result. It's not a bug, it's just a color issue. Okay, so the form works fine. So if you are going to try to configure your multiple dependent dropdowns, you can configure them here. So let's try to add more categories. Let's say what? Let's say view. Okay, let's say subcategory. Let's say view component. And say header. Just add one more categories for view, and let's say footer, main, and cider. And we also try to do another view. This is for method. Let's say show header. So you can just do things like this: show footer, show main, show sidebar. Okay, once we have new data input here, we can try to refresh this page, and we should be able to see the new items we just added here. So this is the view. If I select the view, I should have options to select components or method. If I select the method, I should have all this method here. Okay, so if I choose components, I have all these components for this view. Okay, this is how you can configure the multiple dependent dropdowns. So you also can add new columns here. So you need to follow the structures. So if you choose the JavaScript, so let's try to add a very quick. So let's say for each of this content, we only have one option for this, just the same, just a quick copy. So let's say content copy, and let's try to refresh this page. I think we should be able to get 4 multiple dependent dropdowns here. So let's try to choose view and method. If I choose show header, now you can get this 4 dropdowns here with this content copy. okay, because we just set a copy of this content here. So you have a, let's say if we have a JavaScript, maybe have 2 or more options for this JavaScript options in this column D. You can add multiple items, multiple lines. So you need to duplicate all of this and add a new. Let's try to show you example. So you need to make a copy of this, and let's say this is JavaScript basic 001, and this is 002. So now if we select the JavaScript basic, we should have 2 options here for the 4th column, okay, for your 4th dropdown. Let's try to refresh, and let's check the result here. So JavaScript tutorial, beginner, and basics. Try to tutorial, beginners, and basics. Now you have the 001 and 002. So you can add more. So it just depends on your requirement. Let's try to remove this demo for you, and we also can. So just maybe that's all for the configuration in the spreadsheet. So if you'd like to do some modification here for the other input, you need to go to the script, and I will show you where you can do the modification for them. So this web application is also powered by the Vue.js, and to do the quick modification, you need to go to this js.html file, and all the Vue stuff are in this file. And if you need to do the quick modification for the input, you should be able to find them in this object. So in this main object, we have a form data object here. This is not an object, this is an array. So in this array, I have all of this input here. So you can modify. Like for the first one, we have a name object, a name input with a name, and the type is text. And the value for the original setup, the default value is empty. And the ID, you can name it whatever you want. So this is a very simple setup for this input, because this tutorial is not for this part. Is main focused on the multiple dependent dropdowns. So basically you can remove or change or do some modification, or you can add new items. So if I try to add a new one here, you just make a copy of these items. So name, you can name it whatever you want. So let's try to name it test. So type, let's try to text. So empty value, so this is test. If I save it, so you did some modification in your code, you need to republish it. So if you try to refresh this one, you will not see the new items we just added. Okay. So maybe there's something wrong with, I don't know why. I still get this test result. That's weird. I don't know. This is new to me, guys. So it looks like we don't have to deploy this again, and we just get the result. That's weird. Maybe it's something related to Vue. So maybe this object is not changed. We just add a new item to this object, and maybe this is not catched by the project. So as you can see here, so for other changes, I think you have to publish it again. So if you do something changes, okay. And here I got this one, okay. So basically that's how you do some modification for this form, and you can add new items or remove the items you don't need them to this form. And also you also can do the changes for these titles and the form name and all of these links and this information in this footer. You also can do the modifications. You just need to locate the, so in this data object you have the header. In the header you have a title. Okay, you have a title here, and in the footer you have the copyright. You can do some modification and have some notes here. You also can change it. And for the links, you can add more links here in this array. So you add more links into this array with the object with name and the URL. So you can add or move or remove the links in this object. All right. So basically, if you would like to do a very quick update, you can do it here. And if you are like to know more, if you are trying to learn more about this project, as you can see here in this file, it's basically the very simple view of view application here. So all the code are in this file, and I'm not going to go through this code to you because basically it's just a very simple view code, and I suggest you to spend some time to learn Vue if you are interested in this project, and you can do it in another way. If you are not using Vue, you can use other stuff. You can just use the JavaScript to do it, I think. All right, and so in this code.js file, I only have the basic functions. So for the first one, like I explained in the previous videos, so it's just a function to link your files, your JS file and a CSS file, other HTML file to your main, to your index HTML. Okay, so you should be able to find this function in your index HTML. Here is for the style sheet, and here is for the JavaScript file. Okay, so this function is very simple, and this doGet function is for the web application. We should have a doGet or doPost function in your web application project. So it's just a return HTML file. Okay, this getData function is going to get the data from the sheet relations. So if you changed the sheet name here, you have to do the modification here. You also need to you have to match the name in your code with the name in your spreadsheet. All right, and for this is the save data. Just save the form data to your spreadsheet. And here is the open function. It's not open the form. The function to open the form, and this is a function to send the form by email. Okay, and the last one is going to build the menu here for you to use these two functions. So just simple like that. And in this index HTML file, very simple. We have this style sheet from this CSS HTML, and we have the JavaScript here. As you can see here, we have a very simple HTML file here with only a div with the ID app. So this is a standard for the Vue.js code for their index HTML for the HTML template. So all these HTML tags, they are not the standard HTML tags. They are the Vue. You can, so they are defined in the Vue, these components. So app header, app main, app footer, app message. You should be able to find them in the component project or component object here. So this is app header. The app header is defined here, app header, and we have this template, this view template here for the components. Okay, so we defined the app header here, and we can use it in the HTML. All right. So basically, that's all about this project, I think. And I think that's it for today's video. And if you are interested and if you have any questions or comments, please leave it below my video. Thank you guys. See you next time. Bye bye.